All right. Recording in progress. Well, welcome, welcome. You know, we're here to talk about this book, The Untethered Souls, kicking off Soul Growth Book Club 2025. Today's January 5th, and a lot of people say that this Sunday, or whatever this Sunday is after the holidays, is the first day of just like a real letdown mentally, emotionally, we just feel the blues in a lot of ways. A lot of people feel that, and including myself to a certain degree. I kind of woke up this morning and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the end. Kids go back to school tomorrow. I got to get back into work and regular routine and all the things, Dr. Woo Woo,
We're
and
just going to hold up
all
signs that
the
says it.
things. And it just how, yeah, you should make that, Mayor. Make a sign that just says, and all the things. It'll be like a drinking game every time Andy says, and all the things.
I'd be drunk the entire time I visited Idaho.
That's so funny.
Carry a little flask with me. Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me, sales clerk.
Yeah, right. So what I find fascinating about this, like this being identified as, a very challenging day for a lot of people, just from an emotional letdown release point, is how well this coincides with this book about the voice in our head, which is really the heart of the Untethered Soul, is examining what that voice is and the fact that we are not that voice. We are not that voice. We are the awareness of the voice that doesn't stop. So, so just today is just the kickoff. I wanted to give people an opportunity to get the book, to get through the holidays, just to connect. And then I have an outline for working our way through. There's 19 chapters, and we have about 11 weeks, this being week one, to work through it. So it's essentially most weeks we're going to read two chapters to discuss. And I tried to break them down into, if you have the book, how many of you guys have the book? Yeah. Oh, look at you. Yeah, cool. So if you have the book, you'll see that it is broken down into part 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I tried to keep like the parts together, but I think there's 1 week where it's going to be between 4 and 5 that we have to straddle two parts. Heyo. I see
That's
Mary.
another sign I'm going to hold up.
What are
I'm going
we,
to hold up
what are we
another
doing here?
heyo.
Heyo. So I want to get started by seeing who's here and what brought you here. Like, what are you hoping to get out of this book? Have you read this book before? Any sort of introduction to, also, how are you today, January 5th, based on what I said at the intro? So, what brought you here? How are you feeling today? And have you read this book before? Who wants to go first?
You have to call people, remember? What was
Okay.
it last time you did? Elephant people.
Okay. I'm going to call on you, Mayor.
Oh,
Mayor.
geez, Louise.
Yeah. Like you chime in as let me assist you run this meeting. Okay, let me assist you answer your question.
I'm not running that way. Well, I came to this because I follow Andrea Blythe blindly through this world. Just kidding. I actually listened to the a little bit of the audio this morning of the introduction, and I let it go into the first chapter a little bit so I can just hear a little bit
Yeah.
more. And I loved the whole, it's your voice, it's your voice. Why don't you be quiet, voice? And you do that like at night. I'm like, okay, just stop. Everybody stop. And then I just
Right.
it is that voice is not
Incessant.
who I am. It's who all the people before me that have said really
Mm.
limiting uh, opinions on me and my ability. That is, I've kind of adopted that over the years. And to
Interesting.
have found this maybe 30 years ago, that would have been really cool. But
I know,
we're
right?
in it. I'm open to it, and
Right.
I've never read it bore. This
Um,
morning was my first listen.
Yay.
Yeah.
And do you know, on the Audible version, is Michael Singer the the reader of it, or is it somebody else? Is it
No, he
male,
said his
female?
name, but
It's not Michael. Okay.
I didn't hear who he said he was, but
It's
no,
not bad though.
no,
Okay.
it's
You
not bad
also
at all.
have the Audible? I don't have.
Yeah, I have them both.
Okay.
No.
And is there anything that you're hoping to get out of? I don't know if that's even the right question. Hoping to get out of it, or just what are you bringing to the table this morning? How are you feeling from just
I'm
like
bringing,
it's
I'm bringing oh so little to the table today. Well, what I hope to get out of it is what we kind of got out of the Julia Cameron, that whole
Hmm.
like listening to people's ideas and validating other people and making everybody feel seen and heard and all that. I love that kind of conversation when everyone gets to share
Mm.
what they're going through with that particular question. And it might not be something that I've even heard, but hey, I'm going through that too, but I didn't know that until I heard someone else say it, that kind of thing. I like that.
That's the
Bringing to
power
the
of
table
community.
is,
Yeah.
hmm?
That's the power of community and why we come together and like why yeah, because anybody can, I mean, anybody can read any book anytime, but it's just, yeah, but like the discussion and the things that people see and get illuminated, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
right on, right on, right on. And overall, you're feeling today.
I am feeling more like stepping into my 10 energy that when I first met you and you said it's about, community and I went, "Oh, you're wrong, sister. You got to go." Like I don't do people. I don't like people. But
Believe
these
that.
people, yeah, our community,
The right,
absolutely.
yeah,
Now I can see it. Yeah.
like a supportive tribe. Yeah. Cool.
Like,
Cool,
yeah.
cool. Nice. All right,
Mhm.
Mayor, we're gonna go popcorn style. You get a pick.
I'm always going to do Blythe. Just to say, I'm always going to do Blythe, and then next time I'm going to zip over to somebody else.
And you're gonna contradict yourself.
Yeah, good morning.
Mhm.
I I I think I chose not chose the book, but I think the book spoke to me. Just the cover. It's so I don't know.
Mhm.
It's just the beautiful horse running across the water. It's just and the colors and
Yeah.
words. I mean, it's just neat. It's just peaceful.
I do love that. Yeah.
I love the color cover. I just thought and it's not about horses and it's not about and I mean I had no idea at first, but I just so that grabbed my eye. So whoever
Cool.
10 points for that. Um, oh shoot, there was something else I was going to say right about that. I did not know there was an Audible, and I think I'm going to pull down the Audible and
Mm.
listen to it in the car because I'm in the car sometimes a lot, and I'd like to hear it spoken without maybe like when I'm reading it in bed, taking a little doze.
Right. And it can
So
reinforce too. I like the I
it
like the
goes in,
combination. Hmm.
yeah,
Reinforcing one way or the other, whether you listen and then read and reinforce, or you've read something and then you're like, I'm going to listen again. And then it'll be kind of amazing to see how much perhaps you were unaware that you read or listened to that you didn't retain. So
that's true.
I
And
think that's a great idea.
I do like the writing. I like the words. I like the style. It's
Cool.
just it's comfortable for me. It's not stuffy. It's not arrogant. It's not out there where it just come on talk to me better. I can't. I don't want to work that hard to try to decipher what
Cool.
is being said.
And you've read a little ways in, right?
Oh,
I think
I'm on chapter 4. Yeah.
okay.
Not to say that
Oh,
I've digested it, but I've read it.
Okay. Right.
So,
Right. Okay, very cool.
and as far as today, how I'm feeling, we brought boxes down from the garage yesterday, and I am I love I love unpacking Christmas and I love packing Christmas.
Hmm.
So I'm packing up my little tub of this and my little tub of that and
Mm-hmm.
uh, ushering some things bye-bye and um but that's what I have to look forward to today.
come over
Okay.
today, Blythe, and you can pack up my Christmas.
No, I have I must have well at least 20 boxes of
Wow.
of things. So and I'm a Christmas hoarder, so I guess. I mean, I'm not a Christmas hoarder, but
No, you like the
I'm,
spirit of Christmas
I'm
around, and that's the other thing, and that's another reason why it can be a difficult day today or this weekend after. It's like, okay, the New Year's come and now we put everything away, and it's kind of like it is so festive and fun, and then we're still in the
clean
darkness of
and fresh and unencumbered because it's a little
cluttery.
crowded now. Yeah,
Okay, well that's a great way that is true, like the freshness, like having that clean slate.
yeah.
Okay, so you're looking forward to your
My day, my
Christmas packing.
chore. Yeah, yeah.
Good.
With or without help, and preferably this is one time without help, because help is too much.
Gotcha. Very good. All
So,
right.
so Suze, you're next.
I got called on.
Yay.
Yes, ma'am.
I am Susan Slater. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I call myself Dr. Woo Woo in my spare time. I have so this book seriously like has been calling to me for the last 5 years. I bought it. I went to a wedding shower at the Inn of the Seventh Ray in Malibu. Um, right before this whole journey of mine started, and I was in the bookstore of the Inn of the Seventh Ray, and I was like, I need that book. Like I saw it across the room. I need that book. I need that book. So I bought the book. This is now my third copy of it.
Oh.
It has become lost in my travels along the way, but I have listened to most of it audible. I actually just started reading the text in the last week or so. I'm here because I know I need this book and I know I've needed it. And then it came up on the list, plus Ride or Die.
Oh, plus right.
Plus right
I
or
love
die.
it. I love it. Hey, Beth, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're just joining. We're doing a little introduction, so I will welcome you into the Untethered Soul book circle. I know a couple people are, it's January 5th. We're still waking up, letting it be slow. And so just the question that we went through, everybody, there were three. Have you read the Untethered Soul before? Uh, uh, what was I saying? Oh, January 5th. January 5th.
That's all.
January 5th too. Like, how are you feeling today? It is
Mm.
for many people, it can be a hard day emotionally, just like the letdown of the holidays. We feel it today. So I'm always curious about people's energy. And yeah, is there anything in particular that you're hoping to get from this group? So I'm just so happy to meet you.
Hey, yeah, I'm sorry I'm late. I couldn't get my video to work.
Oh.
And I didn't even know this existed. I feel like synchronicity because I opened up my phone this morning and I saw it and I'm like, oh, I want to do this because my kids happen not to be home at this moment. And I have read the book, but it's been several years ago.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I was just really interested because I'm reading, or I just read The Power of Now, kind of really into these types of books.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to do a book club and also having other individuals to talk about these concepts that for me can sometimes be hard to verbalize or like I understand, but I don't understand. Maybe on like how to implement it in a tangible world. Like philosophically, this is great, but I also have, kids and a life and everything. And so how do I live in the duality of both of those things? So that interests me there. And the other question, how am I feeling? Well, I have found this time of year is like what you're saying, Andrea. It's that pull of everybody's kind of like, it's a new year and get going and be this whole new person. And you're like on a hangover from December. So since I know you do, and I follow the moon cycle, I have allowed myself to use the Lunar New Year as my new year. And I use this time as like my reflective, quiet time. Mm-hmm. And it's still difficult because, there's that part of me that is like, you need to do. But I think that helps. So long answer.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Well, I welcome you. And as you guys can see by Beth's background, she is a beautiful watercolorist, local watercolorist, and features this really lovely moon calendar. I know I've seen it at Earthlight Minerals. It's probably all around. But So it's so fun to have you here. And I hope that this is what everybody can gain from our time together is like this book is like part of it is very simple. It's stripped back. I really love the idea of this winter wisdom and how it falls into the overarching theme of winter that I'm offering with the Joyful Soul Circle on Wednesdays, where it's all about this like paring back, paring back, paring back, paring back, paring back, and like going within. And if there's a greater question than what he poses in this, which is like it, the voice that is in our head, the incessant, the nonstop chatter that is in our head, the fact that we can, like right now, if we all just close our eyes and we tell, actually, let's just do that. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just take a minute here to just take a couple deep breaths at your own pace, feeling in your lungs and feeling your filling, not feeling, feeling and filling your lungs with, the life force energy and relaxing it out. Being like, here we are, Sunday, the first Sunday of this 2025. And what he says is like, tell yourself in your quiet of your mind right now to say hello. Tell it to say hello 3 times in a row. Tell your voice to yell hello. Have your voice yell Happy New Year. And open your eyes. It's kind of crazy. Like the voice in our head is nonstop, and yet we can also tell it what to say. Like, so we are not the voice. Again, last night I had that opportunity to do the deprivation chamber, the still water float. So you are literally just floating with your thoughts for an hour and what comes and what goes. And I really wish that I have not only read the Untethered Soul, I've read the Surrender Experiment, where I know that it's all about stepping outside and being the observer of our thoughts, which in the world, and it's about to wake back up. We have had this December, we've had this time of holidays of, kind of being off schedule. Now we're going to get back into the regular pacing of life and movement and all of this stuff. But we know that astrologically, or some of us know that astrologically, it's also a massive slowdown. We're starting this year with a slowdown. And when we have all these other competing thoughts, like you were saying at the top of the hour, Mare, like listening to your thoughts, you're like, these are not even necessarily my thoughts. And yet here they are. They come and our practice for every Sunday through this winter season is to be the observer of our thoughts. And I think that's really important on days where it can be collectively more challenging for people, where you can feel like, I mean, it's a gray day here in Boise. Dr. Woo Woo, is it sunshiny and 65 degrees in Cal? Of course it is in California. Yes.
A beautiful ocean view.
Yes. Yes. So, like as we feel this and observe this, it's just noticing that we are not our thoughts. This is the introductory concept of the Untethered Soul, is to separate out. I have a copy of the Untethered Soul guided journal. You do not need to get this, but we will be using some of it to help guide our conversations because there's some good reflective questions in here. But it starts with him saying, "Come to know the one who watches the voice, and you will come to know one of the great mysteries of creation." We are the watchers of our voice. So, what is our voice telling us? What does our voice tell us first thing in the morning? How do we respond when you close your eyes and listen within? What thoughts do you hear? Maybe let's just pop open that question. Like typically, like how often do you pay attention to the voice in your head, and what are the thoughts that it shares? And when, perhaps, what time of day do you listen?
Don't you listen all day long? Isn't it just always going?
It's always going. But do you, I mean, but are there
But you
certain
don't always
times
have
of
to
the day
listen.
where you can like where you hear it versus others? You know what I'm saying? Like again, I'm gonna go back to like I had a very clear moment yesterday laying in that still water pod. Like I was in my thoughts for an hour. I was very aware of my thoughts. And, you know, I didn't, yeah, yeah.
You
I
know,
think
when
for
I,
me, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead, honey. No, go.
I asked my husband this morning. I think it depends on the time of day. So my thoughts are very anxious, worried, and not very kind at night.
Oh,
So when I wake up, and I just know that, and I feel like my friends, it's similar for them. It's very much
mm,
that worry, anxious mind,
okay.
personally. When I journal in the mornings, and if I just say, what do I need to hear? I don't hear, I mean, I know what you're saying by the voice, but in the
Yeah, yeah.
sense that when I go to write, it's almost like it's not a voice, but I know the words to write, but it's almost feel like I'm talking to somebody else. I feel like it's like, it's wisdom to me where I'm like, what do I need to hear? And then I just free write, and that voice feels different. It feels loving and guided.
Oh,
Um,
that's beautiful.
yeah.
Versus because and you open up, you give space for another voice to come in rather than the one. So the voice that is perhaps that continual chatter
Mhm.
seems from what I'm hearing you say is the worry, the
Yeah.
concerns, yeah, the
Yeah.
stories again,
It's
like
like
Mary, like you were saying,
analyzes like a conversation from a week ago that I should have said something else.
oh,
And, but I feel like the other voices, like you always have all the time you need. It's loving. It's like, the other one is like fear. If you don't do this now and
mm-hmm,
you're
mm-hmm,
gonna end up
mm-hmm.
alone by the river. So,
So true. Anybody else? Like, let's go jazz hands if that resonates. Like, yeah, 100%. I love that you have a writing practice as well. Do you do that every morning?
I try to. Right now, the kids, I have sixth grader, third grader. They've been home since
Oh,
the
yeah.
19th. But yes, typically I do.
Right in the morning. I
Yeah.
find that a very helpful practice. A lot of us, Beth, that are on today have read through The Artist's Way. I lead that is typically my book of the summer season. And, that is a practice that she talks about. And it's one that I do as well because, yeah, the anxious thoughts are very present. They can come up. And so just even giving voice to them, though, let them play out, like just be like, okay, I see you. I see you. I don't know what I
Mhm.
want to do with you, but I love that you invite, like, what do I need to hear today?
Mhm.
That's really beautiful. What are some other thoughts or what are the predominant thoughts that perhaps throughout the day or at certain points, morning and night are big points in the day, for sure.
Anybody? Are you asking
I'm
Beth?
asking, I'm asking all y'all.
Well, I will say that since we started working with Julia, I can't do a
Yeah, I love
long.
it. I love Julia
We work with
Cameron
Julia.
on The Artist
Um,
Way.
I have to live as if,
Okay.
that's my year
Live
this
as
year.
it.
I live as if.
Me and Julia.
Julia. When Miss Cameron suggested that we write our morning pages, and I thought, oh God, I can't do that all in the morning. That's too much because I have way too much. So I break it up. But what I started doing was more of a 12-step kind of thing, which is you at the end of the day, you write your gratitude. And then
Mm.
the next morning when you wake up, you read the gratitude.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
like Dr. Wayne Dyer is a huge person in my life, and he has always said the last 5 minutes of your day is what you take to bed. So don't
Mhm.
watch TV, don't listen to like read happy things or write. And then I'm trying to now look back and kind of underline where the fear comes in so I
Yeah.
can work on that because that's what really keeps me in that old way of thinking is
Mhm.
all the other people's voices that come in and the doubt comes in and then I'm trying to like envision this little umbrella of nope, I don't hear you anymore, la la la. And honestly, that's why in the morning, first thing in the morning, earphones, death metal loud and just get everything out because I need to like cleanse my space, man. And that's what it feels like. I can hear you in the closet with your, that must be so loud. I'm like, you can't listen to death metal if it's not loud. But that seems to like kind of purge, cleanse it.
Yeah.
And then Mary Morrissey says, every morning you have a brand new baby day. So like forget all the whatever mistakes you think you made yesterday. Today's a brand new baby day. So what are you going to do with that little baby? So that's what I kind of envision
That's
after I'm
beautiful.
done banging my head for a minute. So yeah.
Let it all out. Yeah. Other thoughts on just generalities about the voices that are in your head?
I was getting a massage one time, and I was talking to the woman with somebody that I got massages with fairly recently, and she was telling me about this encounter she had with the voice in her head that I didn't realize I think we must all have. And she was in bed, and whatever was going through her head, and she said that she just felt this like sort of power come over her, and she said out loud, "Stop being mean to me. I do not give you permission to berate me like this." And she was obviously talking to the own voice in her head. And I just love that. And it's something that I've done ever since, like when I catch myself, what's wrong with you? Why are you so, all this stuff. Just stop it. It's me being mean to me. And I think that's when I notice it the most. Like the dog walking down the street, whatever, it's in, it's out. I don't tend to take that much farther than the dogs. I'm not, why is the dog here? I wonder if the dog got out. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't notice that all that much because it's in and out. But the like the negative self-talk, I definitely notice.
Okay. And that's really what is my hope is for the unfolding of not just our soul growth book circle, but the winter wisdom circle is for people to, wrap themselves in a blanket of grace and love and tune into the true voice that Beth, that you had already mentioned, that comes through when you invite in like spirit, like, what do I need to hear? And that's a totally different tone because, the voice of the universe, of God, of spirit, whatever you want to call it, is love, plain and simple. And as these spiritual beings in these human bodies, though, we are so hard on ourselves and we're so critical of ourselves and put shame and judgment and fear and worry and stress and all of that. And when we strip everything away and realize that even the voice that is with us all the fucking time is not even like a thing, like that's not even us. Kelly is, yeah, hang on one second. Somebody is hopping in. Um, so Mama, what about you? What are your voices? Yeah.
They're usually pretty well, I'm not going to say unimportant, but they're nothing that even screams out at me. When I get up in the morning, I finish that, whatever the latest dream thought was, or a little to-do thing or something. And then I just get on with my day and I don't think about it. I think I just want to be out of bed and vertical, and I don't have a lot of thoughts. And so my one thought in listening to this is that, well, eventually maybe I will have some thoughts. And
Go on.
That's it. That I will just let them come through, because I'm stuffed things for a number of years.
Yes. So
Like
I wonder if you will notice more of the thoughts and the quality of thoughts and when they come up. And for all of us, okay, all right, I need to stop. For all of us to have, like, that is the greatest awareness, is to be able to stop ourselves. I do that acronym SNAP, where especially if you feel yourself like in a downward spiral of emotion, that you stop, notice, and ask and pivot. So stop like whatever the story is. Hey, Bridget, welcome, welcome. You stop and then notice like what am I feeling? And then ask yourself, is this true? And then pivot your thought because it's all going to be about catching our thoughts, like being aware of the thoughts because we just like in day-to-day reality, once everything picks up, we can be that pinball in the machine, just getting knocked around with responding and not responding, reacting to everything that's happening around us. Our thoughts can put us in that spiral too. And so it's just being aware that we are the consciousness behind the voice. The voice is not us. We are the awareness behind the voice. We get to watch this voice and then choose how we're going to respond. So it'll be interesting, Mama, just to see if you notice more awareness of the quality of your thoughts because maybe, I mean, you've lived such
Or
a
the fact that I
beautiful,
even have.
yeah, like I would imagine that you do.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I mean, you are the elder here in your wisdom. Your
Right.
80 years of wisdom that perhaps you have some sort of mastery or quiet that goes on. But I know my habit, it just doesn't stop. Like, meditation helps, yoga helps, all
I'm
kinds of
looking
things
forward
help.
to those things helping, and then someday having this big
I look forward to that too.
you'll probably hear it from here to there.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah, go ahead, Beth.
I was just saying, I have a question for everyone. So, with that same idea and like the power of now and this idea of like
Mm,
behind the voice is the awareness of the awareness, right?
yeah.
I feel like I've never experienced it. And he talks about you can't really get there in your mind because you aren't your mind, it's beyond that. And it really gets frustrating. It's like, oh, just relax into it. And it feels like the more I try, the harder it feels. And so, if anyone has experienced that, what does that feel like for you?
Mm.
Because I understand separating myself from the thought, but to actually be the witness and feel that deeper witnessing, I don't feel like I've ever been there.
And this is
Me
just the
either.
introduction,
That's a good
people.
question.
Yes. Um, has anybody been able to fall behind their thoughts and truly be the witness? Welcome.
Not until after the fact.
Yeah.
Mm.
We're gonna get there. Again, this is the introduction. I want to give Bridget just hopped on, and I know that Bridget, you have an obligation before, so you'll often be partway through. But I did want to offer you a space to welcome you into our little book circle here and ask you what brought you into this? Like, what is it that you're hoping to learn? See, I know the answer to question number two. Have you read this book before? And then also, how are you feeling on this Sunday, which is often considered a day of it can be a melancholic day as we leave the euphoria of the holidays and get ready to enter into reality and like no pressure, right? Like the best version of yourself, like, supercharged you. So if you want to just share a little bit about yourself, I would love it. It's so good to see you. Welcome to the circle.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm super excited. And I think for me, like I have in November, I really kind of like started kind of shrinking into myself and needing just to spend time with just myself. And I like canceled a whole bunch of group obligations and different things throughout the holidays. And I just really got really super quiet. And I feel like now I'm going through this purge. Like we are literally purging our house room by room. So the my reality, my external reality, I feel is mirroring what my internal
Desire.
body is doing. And I keep coming back with this purge feeling. I keep coming back to this complete surrender. And Michael Singer's other book, The Surrender experiment is one of my favorites. Um and so with the Untethered Soul, like I have read it. It's been a while. And I definitely wasn't at the same headspace as I am today the first time that I read it. So I feel like I'm going to be reading it for the first time,
Mm,
if that makes sense.
totally
Uh,
does.
yeah. And so I'm super excited with the energy that I'm in right now and just this purge and this surrender. And I'm really getting really, really like, I don't know anything. Like that whole, like, this is the space that I'm in right now is there's nothing that I know. And then it kind of freaks me out because what does that mean? What do I do? My human wants to do? And
Mm.
um and that's yeah, so I'm super excited to dive into this book um and figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, and ask, I mean, because it will bring up some questions. I think I have shared that out of all the books I owned, I think this book is the most annotated one that I have. It is, I lent it to somebody and then I kind of freaked out like when I got it back because I didn't realize how personal like the notes that are in my in the margin and how much it really was calling me to a new up leveling of understanding who I was. And of course, for those of you that don't know my story, is that in 2020 is when it was the end of my 20-year marriage that um, just started this unraveling of our family that and my personal life over the course of the following 2 years. And that's when I read this. So I mean, just so many notes in questions and, going back to what you asked, Beth, like that really great. Has anybody experienced that? I just recently read The Surrender Experiment. I think it was in November too, Bridget. Interesting that you were talking about like that was the time that you started paring back. And I think he just keeps talking about falling behind your thoughts, falling behind your thoughts. And yeah, yes. And again, it's like, yes, I understand that. And I don't think that I have achieved it yet. And that's okay because it's the continual process. Again, like just saying, going back to the Stillwater pod that I was in last night, I wish that I had remembered to just like consciously take that time to be like just fall behind the thoughts like and see like would that have made a difference for me to be in the water and try to fall behind the thoughts. The water is often a place where I do a lot of thinking. I come up with a lot of ideas. There were no ideas came to my surface yesterday. I was like, what? So I was just like, I don't know what I do know what my thoughts were and it's fine. It's like whatever. They came up. I noticed them. I was aware of them. And I'm like, and then what? Like what do I do with that? I don't know. I was relaxed. I had a good night's sleep. So I'll just take that as a win. But yeah, it's gonna get meaty. It's gonna ask us some big questions. And so it's a shortish book. It's 180 pages, but it's got stuff that is worthy of intentional conversation to really understand like as we move forward into 2025, like honestly, winter just began. And I feel like the way that we live our lives in well, let's just say in the United States, it's a very big commercial season of Christmas and the New Year. And I say Christmas like to mean all the holidays. So please don't take any offense if I'm not mentioning a particular holiday, but we have all this, and then it's like the new year begins and it's like go. And like Beth said, like the lunar calendar, or even looking at the astrology, and that is going to be the topic of the Winter Wisdom Circle on Wednesday, is just looking at the overall view of the astrology of the winter. And it is not a go. It's not like the planet of passion and drive, Mars is in retrograde. And anybody who is in Aries or has like activated Aries in your chart, Aries rising like myself, like it's gonna slow you down. And so being okay with that stillness doing the purging, allowing the space to grow the seeds of intention that you want from a cleared out, uncluttered, unrushed, responsive rather than reactive state is what we're going to be doing. So, I mean, really, winter just began. This whole idea of paring everything back, going within, asking like, who is having this conversation in my head right now? Befriending it. I work with a Magi student who is a Scorpio, and she often talks about like calling all the pieces of her together because Scorpios in the Magi system, they have 3 cards. It's just a little bit more, there's just a more intensity. And for anybody who knows a Scorpio, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But how she just like will call all of her pieces like, okay, all these voices, like we're going to come together. We're going to pull within and really try to get centered and like come to a like right now we're all going to have nap time or whatever, like having that kind of control over our thoughts. It'll be, you know, because it's not the other way around. The thoughts are always going to be there. We're here to catch it, recognize it, ask if it's true, pivot if we need to, and we're going to do this in community. So I'm thrilled for all of you to be here on this introductory call. I know that there will be more people popping in and out, and also I just want to state that for the record. Come when you are able. Listen to the recording if you're unable to be here present. And one thing that I asked everybody on New Year's Day in the intention setting circle is to ask yourself, first and foremost, what is your vision for 2025? What is it that you are calling in? What is it that you most deeply desire? But perhaps even a more important question that often gets neglected is, how committed are you? How committed are you to your vision? How committed are you to, you know, making 2025 the best year yet? Like, and I say that with like, I am super excited for 2025. I feel big things coming. I know they're like, I see the astrology that is coming down the pipelines. Massive change is on the way, and I'm ready to like ride that wave of change and embrace it and use it to fuel me. And I'm super committed to creating space for people to come together to navigate all of this stuff. And I lost my train of thought. I was going somewhere. Anybody want to pull me back in? Where was I going? Where was I going?
I think kind of the structure of the classes too, right?
Yes, yeah. And so yeah, the structure of the classes, today's just the intro, just like start thinking about the thoughts of your mind, and perhaps like journaling on what comes up at certain points in the day, or just notice when thoughts are there. And then again, going back to that simple thing that we did at the very beginning, tell your voice to say hello. Tell your voice to say you're gorgeous. Tell your voice to say
in a
it's
different accent if you can,
Ooh,
because
okay.
I mean,
Give
you
us
might
one,
as well.
Sergio.
If you've got someone telling you you're beautiful, I mean, come on.
You're so beautiful. Hey, jolie, ma belle.
Right. Me alone.
Yeah. So we will meet same Zoom link every week. We're just going to keep this super simple, same Zoom link. I will post the replays. I think I'll do on I'm changing platforms for anybody who's new. I'm switching everything, streamlining it to a new platform, but I do not have a place to house these yet. So for the time being, I'll just maybe I should even see if Let Love Rise, I think it does have a book circle page. So I'll put I would like to create a separate mailing list so you can get the replays there, but I don't have a place where they're going to be housed yet because I'm moving everything over. So I think I will make them, well, I need to ask you guys, it gets pretty private. Listen to my thoughts, like jumping 5 times
You're
down
wondering
the
if you should put them on YouTube. I heard that thought.
Well, you did hear that thought, right? Like, because there's something sacred also about a circle, like committing to journey this together with each other. And so I was going to say I could keep it public on YouTube, but I prefer to keep it unlisted. And then people who are in the circle can have access to it. But I also because I want people to feel like this is a safe space. Like I said, I mean, shoot, like when I got my book back and I saw what I had written in my margins, I was like, oh my gosh, somebody saw all that. Like there's stuff that's going to be excavated that I want to keep sacred for everybody who's in this. So so it will not be public on YouTube, but it will be accessible. I will put them all into YouTube unlisted links and share it out either in the email or I still have to think about where I'm going to house them while I'm in transition.
Andrea, can't you also just share the link of the recording? I've done that before.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so share the link of the like in an email, like
Like
just
from Zoom, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yes. Oh, the Zoom link, yeah, and it'll go into like a Google file for most people. If I don't upload it, you're saying if I don't upload it to YouTube, take that. I'm just so used to putting so many things on YouTube.
Sure. Yeah. No, I think what it would do, I think when you open the link, it would just, yeah, open up the replay in there.
Okay, and that
It's a
might be
browser
that
or
might be
what, but
that might be the easy button that I need.
then you wouldn't have to upload
Take
to
that one
YouTube
step
if you
out.
didn't
That
want
would be
to.
helpful.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So so just I would love, oh, the commitment to yourself, commitment to this book, commitment to reading with a community. You know, if you just find you're like, my commitment's like a, you know, a 6, a 7, you might be here, you might not be here. You're welcome to come sometimes, to not come sometimes. The power of this book circle is going to be for those who are committed at a 10. Like, I'm in this. I'm gonna read through this and I'm gonna give myself grace if like we were supposed to read chapter 3 and 4 and I didn't. Come, come. It's okay. You know, you're not gonna be, yes, I used to be a high school teacher, but I'm not gonna you know, there's not gonna be questions, there's not gonna be tests, there's not gonna be none of that.
You're not going to put us on detention?
I mean, you know, no, I'm not
Oh
gonna
my
make you
God,
write
for the first
you know,
time ever, I won't be on detention.
write 100 times. I will. No, no, no. This is soul growth book club. That is what it's called. It is for people who are just wanting to be in, have like good conversations. People don't talk about this stuff all the
Mhm.
time. So knowing where you can go to be like, I want to get into like the essence of who am I really? There's no better question to be asking ourselves in the void of the winter season, in the quiet, in the stillness of winter. Like, who am I? Because without understanding that foundational piece of like, who am I at my core, then it's like, what do I want to plant? You know, so it works together. So we, you know, many of us did craft a vision statement for the year ahead, perhaps just for the winter season. And so it goes together with, I know where I want to go, and I have to be authentic to myself. I have to know like how I work well, how I how I don't, you know, and where those voices are in their I want to say in their battle in the mind because and I just mean that from the sense of sometimes our voices are so loud that it feels very real. And it's going to be about stripping that back and realizing that again, once again, we are not the voice, we are the observer of the voice. So this week, just observe what your voices say. Like, I mean, even when I take a walk and I like look at people's houses and I get all judgy on people's houses or their Christmas lights. Oh my gosh, you know, I could do that. You know, I'm not necessarily proud of it, but like that's also just like that's just the mind. It's just constantly going. It's constantly processing, and so creating some stillness. For next week, and what I will send out is also a just like uh the the dates. The dates and what we are reading to discuss on each date. Next week is January 12th, and we will discuss chapters 1 and 2. It's pretty much, I'm just going to lay it out for you right now. Verbally, you do not need to take notes on this unless you would like to, but for the remaining of January, it's going to be 2 chapters a week. So chapter 1 and 2 for January 12th. January 19th is that is Martin Luther King holiday weekend. I still intend to hold the circle. So we'll just see who can or cannot come on that. And again, no judgment, totally get it. Life is life. Chapters 3 and 4. So we'll be reading through for the next 2 weeks, part 1, which is on awakening consciousness. You know, we'll just start there. We'll just awaken our consciousness. And then we'll move into part 2 on January 26th, an Ace of Diamonds day. It's my mama's 80 wonderfulest birthday.
Oh, cute.
Experiencing energy is part 2. So again, I think that is going to be chapter 5 and 6. There's 1 week, I think it's chapter 7 is going to be a standalone week. It's the one off week, transcending the tendency to close. Yeah. Which feels like we could probably use that. And then we'll just keep on going. So until we get to chapter 7, when you're at chapter 7, that is the week where it's just the one. But otherwise, we're 2 chapters at a time. And this will go out into my regular newsletter on Fridays. I'll let people know, and if people come in, but generally after about 2 weeks, you know who's in the circle and who's not, and I'll have like a more close-knit email with, just reminding you, and here's the link, and here's the replay, and if there's any journal prompts that might come up, I'll put that in there. And it will wrap up. So this is going to happen within the confines of the winter season. So our last Sunday will be mid-March. I believe it is March 16th. Let me just double check on that it's a Sunday. Yeah, March 16th. We'll finish with chapter 18 and 19 because later that week we've got the first day of spring on March 20th. And yeah, whole new season. Whole new book, whole new world. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. How does that sound?
Great.
Pretty
Inspiring.
good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Let's close out today before we move forward into this fine January day with I would love anybody who has done their vision statement for the year to share it. Or if you have a word of the year or the season to share it, if you have kind of like an intention for your 2025 or your winter season. So I will begin, and then we will go popcorn style, but I'm not even going to get it kicked off. I know some of you have already crafted them. You were with me on the first, and you've crafted your vision statements. But just if you feel comfortable, share out what you're thinking. So my vision statement for 2025 is I expand in service. And for the winter season, interestingly enough, I'm realizing that my word for the winter is expansion. And the contradiction of the winter season. So like I'm going with it. I'm gonna play with it. But I think that expansion can come from doing a lot of the internal work. Like I said, like getting my systems turned over to this new platform that I'm using. Like some of that is going to create the expansion that I'm desiring. But definitely service is a big part of my year. I expand in service. Who else wants to speak out their vision for 2025?
I'm not doing that this time. I'm not the first one all the time. You guys do it.
I'll just say what my word is, and I think it's only, I don't know if it's only for the quarter or for the whole year, but it's consistency, because I am full of ideas and getting them down where they belong on a consistent basis.
Mm.
I do a blog, and you look back at my blog, you'll think, where the hell was she for the last 6 weeks? And it's like, yeah. And it's shameful because I have been day after day after day.
It's not shameful.
Well, it's embarrassing because I have been with it day after day for 5, 10, 15 years. So it's just, and it's rubber stamping, it's crafting, it's how to, it's where to find, blah, blah, blah. But I've just been somehow just overwhelmed at home with stuff, and I just don't get away from that, whatever that stuff is. And so consistency is my word. And it's funny, about 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, I just wrote it down again and put it where it is at eye level where I'm sitting right now. And it's like,
yeah,
consistency.
I think it's great for the winter season. Like come March, check in and see, just starting with consistency, and then we're gonna hold to these. Like that's part of it. It's like this is not just like a fun little party trick. It's like it matters. Words matter.
Like how many other 80-year-old women do you know that can say they've had a blog for 15 years?
No kidding.
Wow.
Or more. I don't know how long I have to look, probably longer, probably closer to 20 plus. Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to say this for you specifically. I am gobsmacked.
Thank you. Thank you. That will give me inspiration, Suze. I just need, I don't know what I need, but I need it. And this word, and you all are going to keep the fire lit under my
Blythe, will you send me the link so I can read your blog?
I'd love it too.
Stamping what?
Stampingwithblythe.com.
Thank you.
It is very direct.
Beautiful, Mom.
And if that's not it, let me know.
Fair enough.
Other vision statements, words that you would like to share out so we can hold space for one another? And accountability is just, it is more like consistency, like coming back and checking in.
I think Blythe has to pick someone, right? Didn't you say popcorn?
I did say popcorn style, but I wasn't picking the first person. Go ahead, Mom. We'll go that way.
I have to pick someone? Don't ask me why. I'm going to pick Bridget.
My word for this winter season is release. And
release.
Again, release. I feel like it's coming back to that purge, that surrender. But for me, release is releasing everything I thought I once knew, releasing physical objects as well as emotional, energetic, mental. Yeah. Release.
Nice. Beautiful. Love that. All right, Bridget, you get to pick someone. That's how popcorn works.
I will pick Beth.
Okay. And Bridget, I just want to say I love what you're experiencing right now because I feel like it's so timely, and I think of this season like as the new moon. So I feel like this is just such the time to purge, and to be open like that is, I don't know. I can just feel it, honestly, through Zoom. I feel like I can feel your openness, which I'm excited to see where it goes for you. I usually choose a word like when I do my vision board workshop, but where I'm thinking is going to be presence is what is coming up. I haven't completely landed on it, but for me, I believe that my power is in my presence, and new thoughts that aren't regenerated and regurgitated come out of presence, and I make the best decisions there. So that is where I'm focused. I can, I don't know if it was Blythe that had said, I get a lot of ideas, and it can be difficult to see them all the way through to the end or not get overwhelmed by all of the creative possibilities. So presence is where I'm headed.
That's beautiful. Power of now. Now, yeah. I heard the words vision board workshop and like ding, 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 ding. When is that? Is that open to?
So Yeah, I mean, you guys are welcome to come. It's on the Lunar New Year, actually. And I follow the moon. I do not consider myself an astrologer, but I do like to do a lot of research. So when I do the workshop, I go over like the numerology, the energy of the new year and of the calendar year. And then it's journaling, it's excavating to get clarity questions for people's core values. And then I help them organize their vision board based upon their core values. And so we actually don't assemble them, but it's organizing and getting really lots of clarity. So you don't go down the rabbit hole of finding the perfect picture for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so anyway, but yes, if you guys are interested, let me know. And I don't know the best way. I guess I can put it in the chat.
Yeah,
Sorry,
please do. Yeah. And the Lunar New Year is it the first new moon of the year, or is it like the February, like with the Chinese zodiac Lunar New Year?
Yeah, with the Chinese zodiac.
So like around February. So like a month.
Oh, let's see. So last year was February, but this year it's on the 29th of January. I hope I got that right.
Yes,
It's all
and
of
in
the
fact, I
calendar.
was just writing down yeah, partial and oh, and wait, that's January. Yep. Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, share it in the chat. That would be awesome. And then you get to pick on somebody else that I didn't mean pick on. Choose.
I will pick Mayor.
Mayor. Yep, that's me, Mayor. Okay, bye. I close my laptop now. No, I think I keep going back and forth. So I like the co-create, right? But that's always in my head about co-creating. But it's really, I think today I just realized it's the I want to be fearless because I have a lot of things I have to do this year on my own, by myself. I don't do well playing by myself. And I actually, I mean, I do. I don't like going into, Andrea and I were talking yesterday about me going into a certain place by myself. And I said, I feel like I'm the last one picked to go into like no one's picked me to go to the prom and I'm walking into that big prom space. And, I've never liked all the eyes on me, but I'm about to do something that all the eyes are going to be on me. So I better step into it. And fearlessly is where I need to always be. And it's going to be a struggle, but I'll do it. Yeah.
One thing, my sweet mare, that I have learned is that fear is always present, especially when you're when you're putting yourself in there. So just to maybe consider instead of fearless to courageous. And
Courageous. Okay.
because courage is doing the thing that you're afraid to do anyways, right?
Got
Because
it.
you're choosing the courage over there. Because I used to say that I help people live their most fearlessly authentic life. And I was like, dude, I've been like so full of fear with everything that I create, or like the fear is like, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it anyways, like charge. And I was like, oh, it's courage. It's courageously authentic. It's not fearlessly authentic. But I started at fearlessly. So I just want to offer that for you to consider
Yeah.
if that resonates. But I love that vision and where you're taking that because, like you said, co-creation done. I'm doing
Yeah.
that every day, all day.
And stepping into the big thing I'm putting all over my mirrors is that I honor my divine feminine
Oh, I love that. Yep.
because you grew up in a house with a model and you dwarfed. I was dwarfed at almost 6. So it's like I need to step in my own feminine and be okay with whatever that means. It could mean wearing concert t-shirts every day, banging my head, or it can mean slapping on makeup and going outside. It's my divine feminine energy. So yeah,
Oh,
I
I
want to
love
step
that.
into
I
more.
I love both of that. The vision statement, I honor my divine feminine, and then the word courage, fearless. Yeah, cool. Who are you gonna call on?
Miss Suze.
Surprise.
Surprise.
My vision statement for the year is I embody physician, heal thyself. And for those of you who don't know me, I am a physician and also a mystic and a tarot reader. And I am putting together a program for burned out healers to prevent and protect from burnout or recover from burnout if at all possible. So heal thyself is my deal. And my reason that it's embody is my word, and my vision statement is because so much of healing has to do with embodying the principles that I teach and that I use to recover from my own burnout. I'm going to continue, and I'm going to go with Andrea's spirit of expansion with contraction.
Mhm.
If that's a thing, it's a new thing now, because I will
Yeah.
be going inward and not out in the world to give birth to these things, but that's going to require a lot of personal embodiment of the principles. So the self-care and the
Yeah.
the things that we must do, and
Right.
especially while giving birth, preparing to give birth, and also during the winter time. I mean, it's like the perfect time to just
It is like gestation.
embody, and it just
Totally gestation. Yeah. Yeah. And then the spring is the birth. Yeah. I love that. Heal
and I'm a
thyself.
spring baby, so I always feel a little more introspective and go within until I
Mhm.
pop forth in the springtime with my Southern California flowers. I know
Beautiful.
you guys have flowers too.
You just gotta dig it in there. And
I mean, this is behind me. This is the
I
light.
mean, well, show everybody what's behind you. My God, it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Let
it's
me see
beautiful.
if I
It
can
is
show y'all.
beautiful. As we get to get a view of the Pacific Ocean
A little
momentarily.
view.
Oh, I mean,
Oh,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
yeah.
There
Book
we go.
club next Sunday's at Susan's house.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a
Get in my
bad day
car.
here.
We'll all
Maybe
fit.
that'll be our finale.
You guys are
Right? Yeah,
welcome. I officially invite you all.
beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Gorgeous.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for sharing your vision. I have written them down. Like I said, I know of at least 2 or 3 other people that are going to be watching the recording of this, and we'll figure it all out, where it's going to be housed, how you have access to the replays. Just knowing that you have the same Zoom link that we will, except for the finale that we'll do at Susan's house in Southern California. No, we
Very
will.
close to the airport. It's not a
Yeah.
tough
We'll
trip.
be meeting in our cozies here on Sunday mornings, just to be the conscious co-creator of our life. And whatever that means for us for 2025, to have this season of, going within and asking ourselves, who am I really? And we are all love. We are all love. And so peeling back and always remembering and going back to our internal source of divine love, is what this is all about. And we need to check in. We need that consistency. We need the community. We need the reminders, because it's noisy out there. We live in a noisy, noisy, noisy world. So I just am so grateful for all of you for taking some time this morning to be intentional, to do the work of really uncovering your light so that we can shine it for all of those around us, and help this year of transition and change be a little more enjoyable, rather than like, yeah. So thanks for being here, everybody. Any questions
Thank
before
you.
we all sign out? Questions, thoughts, comments?
Well, it
Can I
was
ask
nice
a-
meeting everybody.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah,
meeting
Mom.
you.
Okay, I do have a question. And this is well, you'll figure it out what kind of question. With the chat,
Yeah.
after we turn off, how do we get back into it so I took a photo of Beth's link, but is there a place to come back, a way to come back and click on
Two
it?
things, two things. I will share Beth's link in the wrap-up email, so you can
Okay.
do that. If you're on your desktop and you see in the chat,
Yes.
there are 3 dots in the upper right corner, where if you click
Yes.
on those, you can save the chat. Now, where it gets saved, I cannot help you. So what I do is I click on the link, and it'll open up in another browser for you, so you can see her.
I didn't want to do it in the middle of what we're
Gotcha.
doing because I didn't want the ramifications that I didn't know what they
That you might do.
Disappearing.
So
Awesome. That's
um
Yeah. That's a great question. Thanks for asking that.
Well,
Great.
it's, can I throw one more thing in?
Yes, of
Just
course.
for, which is something I don't usually do, but keep my keep my lovely left hip in your glowing light, whatever. This week, I'm going to have an MRI on it Tuesday and find out what's driving me nuts and why. And I haven't had a broken bone in my life, and this is, I'm not accustomed to being
in pain.
held back. Huh?
In pain. Bridget is also a Reiki
pain.
practitioner. So perhaps you might want to get connected to help move some energy. I don't know. That just came top of mind. But yes, left hip. What day are you having the MRI?
Tuesday afternoon at 3:00 Mountain Time.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So just sending some healing thoughts. Yes, I know that it's causing you a lot of.
Oh, it's just, I had to stand up here at the beginning for about 10 minutes because I.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I could.
We
Thank you
hold,
very
we will
much.
hold light and space over that.
I just have a question too. Do you all already know each other? Like, I'd be so interested to follow people on Instagram, wherever you hang out. I don't know, to learn about you more. So
it's a great question. To answer your question, yeah, most of us, so Blythe is my mom, Mare and Dr. Woo Woo, Susan, the four of us were part of the group that traveled together to Teotihuacan, Mexico, my first international retreat in September. So we have known each other. Bridget and you are new to like being in this group. Bridget, have you, some people, no. I'm thinking like some other people that have come to like Reiki stuff, but Bridget has been part of, I mean, how long have we been connected? We've been doing book club for a while. We did one last year, which I'm still thinking.
Yeah. So this will be our second book that we're doing together.
Yeah.
Bridget to me is very familiar, and I don't know, I can't quite put my finger on it. Is it that Potter Wines, or is it?
I went up to Cascade for was it February?
Yep.
For a moon.
That was it.
Yep.
And I told you how much you look like my cousin, who's my age and is well into dementia now. And I just love that's
it.
Remember that's what I was thinking, but I couldn't remember where the heck it was.
Yes, that is where it was. Yeah.
Super. Thank you.
Oh, that's right. From the Ashes, February 23rd. Yes, that was a beautiful day.
And everybody go check out Beth's website.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I didn't know her face, but I knew her painting that's behind her.
Right.
Because when I first started watercoloring, a girlfriend of mine brought me one that she had done and said, look at this, look at this, look at this. And it was gorgeous. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's such
It was really cool. When I saw your name, I'm like, don't fangirl. Keep it together. I'm cool.
Hey, I would love to.
Don't fangirl.
I would love to paint together anytime. That's so great. Well, it's funny too, because when you talked about your heavy metal, that's like what my husband does at home with his music. Like, how do you concentrate? But it's the way you do it.
It's kind of not to concentrate. It's like when you're mad, you go in and turn it in the car really loud, and you just scream and scream and scream, and you go back in the house and deal with the kids. Like that's just
right.
Thing.
Versus the other way. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was a great question, Beth. Yes. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome into this circle. And people come and people go, but we've got our, what are you calling yourselves? Ride or die.
We're the ride or dies.
Yeah. Yeah. We do a lot in community together. So it's fun to have new faces and new, just new stories and conversations to bring in. So I'm so grateful for you both being here and excited to see where this winter is going to take us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm super excited.
Really neat.
All right. Well, really, we could just jazz hands it out. It's going to be great. Make the most of the moment. That's what we've got. All right. We'll see you back here. Same time, same place, same links next Sunday. Okay. Bye.